which was a realtor, is a wholesaler, kind of a deal engineer because he can do any type of deal, any which way he wants to. Big deals, small deals, and everything in between. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Harry Nail. I'm sorry, but you got me at like 50% speed, so that's the best you're going to get here tonight. Yeah, I'm not feeling the great.
Thanks for coming out tonight. Our topic tonight is doing a rehab the proper way, multiple rehabs, how to do multiple rehabs at one time, the 6 critical documents that you need to get signed every time you do a rehab, where to find quality contractors and how to keep them. Our company is Otter Creek Properties. We have a really cool 1-800 number, and it's 1-800-WILL-PAY. That is not a branding number. We actually own that 1-800 number, which if you know anything about 1-800 numbers, to get anything that is 7 letters that spells anything that's related to your business is next to impossible. But a little hard work and a lot of luck, and we ended up getting that. We also have a matching domain name as well. Right now, we're working on 7 rehabs, and we're not swinging hammers on all 7. They're in various stages. Some of them are being worked on. We have 2 under agreement and two that are for sale right now. These are the departments, and in every business you have departments. These are some of the departments that I'm in charge of. My wife is the CFO, and that's my wife, Michelle, over there. Say hi, Michelle. And she's the one that takes money away from me or gives me. As you can see, that's a lot of different departments to be in charge of and be involved with 7 rehabs, being the project manager. Guess how many rehabs I can do properly and handle all these other departments properly? Scott, give me a guess.
1.
Thanks, Scott. Probably about 3 or 4. I'm sliced way too thin. And what happens when you overextend yourself like that, you're not doing any of the departments, you're not at your top peak performance on each individual. I'm doing all of them just okay. So in order for me to continue this or to grow, I really need to get a project manager to handle all the rehabs. So if there's anybody in the group that has construction experience, you can talk to me after the meeting. Why are we here? Why do we invest in real estate? Well, number 1, it's highly profitable, right? Number 2 is the one I like, OPM. You know what OPM stands for? Other people's money. Tell him what he's won, Bob. Yes, other people's money. Leverage. There is no other investment that you can do that. If you want to buy gold, or you want to buy stocks, or CDs, or mutual funds, you've got to give them $50,000 to get a $50,000 investment. Real estate's the only investment where you can use other people's money, and you can buy a $200,000 property and maybe only invest $25,000, sometimes nothing. Obvious tax benefits, you can depreciate the property. There's long-term capital gains versus ordinary income, so that's a huge benefit. The tenants are paying you rent every month, so you're constantly building equity every month. And a lot of people forget about number 5, and that's appreciation. Hopefully you buy that $100,000 investment today, in 20 years it's worth $200,000. And passive income. You can turn it over to a management company and not have to do anything and collect a check every month. But real estate is highly competitive. There's more reality TV shows about real estate than anything else. Food is sectioned, by the way, which is kind of strange. And there's a lot of smart people in real estate. I mean, brilliant people, a lot of money. So, you want to invest in real estate, you want to flip houses, you better bring your A game. How do you bring your A game? First of all, you need to get educated in real estate. I was fortunate, I've been a real estate broker for 30 years, associate broker. And so I knew all about real estate 7 or 8 years ago when I got in this business. I didn't have to learn about how to negotiate with sellers and buyers, how to contract law, real estate law, that I already knew. So all I had to learn was the rehab process and marketing. Get educated about business. Just because you know a lot about real estate doesn't mean you know how to run a business. You get educated in how to run a business properly, it doesn't matter what it is. You want to open a dry cleaning business or be a roofing contractor, you can do it if you understand the basic business principles. And number 3 is the one that most people forget about, and that's getting educated about that little voice between your head, between your ears. And everybody's got that voice between their ears, and that's the one that causes doubt, that causes fear. Anybody ever experienced that? Yeah, I see everybody's head's shaking, sure. Me too. When you understand that little voice between your ears, and you're always going to have some fear, you're always going to have some anxiety, you're always going to have some stress when you're expanding your business. But the fact that you understand what's going on in your mind will help you deal with it better than the next guy. The next guy might just fold up shop and say, you know what, I'm not going to go any further. I'm just going to do one rehab at a time. I don't want to do multiple rehabs because it scares me. That's too much money out there. Understand that voice, and you can conquer that fear. We had an assistant, and she was from the South. I'm going to put off the subject a little bit here. She was from Mobile, Alabama. And I love the South, and I love that Southern accent. And I can be around somebody for 2 minutes that's from the South, and I'm talking just like them. So when I do these presentations, every once in a while, I'll slip into that Southern voice, and I don't even realize I'm doing it. So if you hear that, you understand what's going on. So what the hell is he doing? The majority of people are not going to get rich from flipping houses. Within the past 3 years, the number of people in the business has doubled or tripled. It's highly competitive. So again, bring your A game. The reason I flip houses is to build my rental portfolio. And you're here at the meetings with Zach, he'll tell you the same thing. The road to true wealth is through rental real estate. So I do marketing, I do rehabs to get rental properties. Not to make a lot of money in flipping houses, because it's tough. It's really tough. Probably only about 3% of the people will actually get wealthy flipping houses. The value of these investment groups are literally priceless. You can do all the social media you want, Facebook and internet and blah, blah, blah. But networking, building relationships is still the best. You know, I came to this group, I met Zach Wiest, we've become personal friends. He has bought 2 of my properties. I met Judah, now I'm taking my buyers to Judah, and I know they're in good hands. I met Scotty, Mr. Commercial Roads over here, and him and his sidekick, Dre. Scotty and Dre just sold 2 of my wholesale deals in Lancaster. I met Carter McHugh, some of you know Carter. Him and I just became partners on a property in Lebanon. He's my Lebanon connection. I mean, what's that worth? And it doesn't even cost anything. The motivational aspect. Every time I come here, I get motivated. The next day, I'm ready to tear into it again. You know what I don't understand? The people that aren't here. There's a lot of people out there in the business, they got the emails, they're not here. They must know everything about rehab. They must know everything about real estate. You guys might not know everything, but you're smarter than they are. Because you paid the money and you're here, right? You paid a lot of money for getting here tonight, right? Right? What's that? You didn't pay any money to get in here? Did you sneak in the back door?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. What's that? Judah didn't charge? Where is Judah? Ah, see, he bailed on me. I can't believe he didn't charge you guys. You're getting all this information for free. You know how many hours I spent on this presentation? So what you want to do is get the most out of it. Yeah, you got in here free, next time we'll charge you. Anybody ever look like this middle guy? Yeah, that looks like me after happy hour, when I start at noon. 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Everyone asks me that, all my students ask me this, should I do the work myself? Well, first I have to ask a lot of questions. Number one, are you working on multiple rehabs? Obviously the answer is no, you can't do it. Number two, know what that house cost you per day. So what I tell them is, figure up what that property costs you per day. So in other words, figure years of taxes, insurance, utilities, somebody to cut the grass, somebody to shovel the snow, the interest on your loans. And if there's points, you gotta figure that in too. Divide it out by 365 days a year and get a per diem cost. So you know what that property costs you per day. Now let's say you work a regular job and you're only gonna work on it in the evenings and weekends. But by doing that, you're delaying the job being finished. And now the project takes a month and a half longer than it normally would if you just hired a contractor, got them in, and got it done. You have to weigh it out. Did you save any money? And the third thing is quality of life. If you're working every day and weekend, you're not seeing your family. So if you're breaking even between, or getting close to breaking even between hiring a contractor to do that work, and you doing it, you're smiling, so you should have.
I did 3 this summer and I'm worn out.
Yeah, your whole summer was wasted, right? So it better be worth it if you're gonna do that. I mean, it better be dramatically over here in your favor of money saved. If it's close or even, you just answered your own question. Every national speaker, motivational speaker, all have those, use the aha moment, you know, and that's that epiphany, that moment where it doesn't matter if it's spiritual, the opposite sex, where you figure something out. Now, personally, I have yet to figure anything out about the opposite sex. And I thought the train well. It could be business. It could be business. And since you haven't paid anything to get in here, I'm going to kick the dude's butt when he's healthy. All I'm asking for you guys is when I go over something that is that aha moment, that you go, oh, man, if I'd have just known that 2 years ago, I would have saved thousands of dollars. It would have saved me so much heartache. I want you to holler out as loud as you can, boom! No more ahas. Boom. Can everybody do that? Now you can't forget. You got to do it. Matter of fact, we're going to practice. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and I want them to hear it on the 3rd floor. 1, 2, 3. Boom! That's it. That's what I want to hear. The first step into a successful rehab or multiple rehabs, and I don't care if you're just putting a deck on your house, is to hire a quality contractor. Where do you find them? Websites. Most quality contractors will have a website. The fly-by-nighters typically won't put forth that effort or money to have a website. Builders Association, that's a really good one. When people join Builders Associations, or contractors join Builders Associations, why do they do that? They do it for a reason, right? Networking, but they want to become more educated in their field. New laws, new zoning laws, new codes. It's just constant, everything is constant change, and those guys want to be at the top of their game. Why are you guys here? Same reason, right? So Builders Association, people who belong to there typically are a little higher standard than the people that aren't. This is an often overlooked one, and I tell my students all this time. Anybody hunters out here? 1, 2, 3, okay, yeah, there you go, me too. When I go in the woods, Diesel, when you go in the woods, you just go anywhere and sit?
Nope.
No, where do you go?
My spot.
where you're gonna probably see the most amount of deer, right? Okay. Finding a contractor, I compare it to the same thing. I use that analogy all the time. Where do contractors always go besides a bar? Where do they go? They go to Lowe's, right? They go to Home Depot, they go to Carter Lumber, they go to Schmuck's Lumber, they go to the plumbing supply house. Don't they all end up there? It's like a crossing, it's like a deer crossing, right? Go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, go into the lumber yard, and just tell them, say, look, I got a house really in bad condition, and I need a contractor to fix it up for me. Who can you recommend? Those guys will not put their neck out in the line and recommend a bad contractor, because they're afraid you're gonna come back and kick their butt. Those are excellent places to find good contractors and get recommendations. Job sites. You see a truck with a, magnetic sticker. We don't use magnetic stickers anymore. I'm dating myself. But it's lettered up, or you see a dumpster out front, stop in. Find out who they are. Find out, who the plumber is, who the electrician is, right? I'll give you the names. Investment groups. Aren't we all here to network and share ideas and share names, right? Contractor referrals. If a contractor is too busy, I called one the other day for a Mechanicsburg flip, and the guy's like, man, I am 3 months out. He came highly recommended. And he goes, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna give you a name and number, this guy will do a good job for you. End up hiring that guy. Craigslist. Now, here you have to be a little careful, because you get the good and the bad, and mostly bad. But I have hired good people off of Craigslist. A couple rules that you must follow when you use Craigslist. Number one, you never, ever, ever put your phone number, right? Ever. They have to email you back. And I always ask them, here's what I'm looking for. I want you to give me a resume. And you know how many people go, hey, I've been in business 20 years, call me. But guess what? They can't follow instructions, I don't want to hire them. The guys that you can trust, they will do a resume. I mean, I've got 3 pages before. I'm a contractor. Damn, this guy. I don't want to call him, right? My assistant's sleeping. Taking notes. Everybody got a pen, right? Okay. Here are some websites. Bluebook.com. Guys want to write some of these down? Angie'sList.com. And I actually found that one contractor who was 3 months out on Angie's List. He had 5 stars. And I'm like, check this guy out. Of course, he was 3 months out. But there's a reason he's 3 months out, because he's 5-star, he's good. So when you call those 5-star guys, expect that they're not going to be able to jump on your job in 2, 3, 4 weeks. Home Advisor and BigFlirt.com. What do we mean when we say the words quality contractor? That's a person who's professional, competent, licensed, insured, has the skills and inclination to work within your system and to do the most best and efficient job possible.
Kaboom!
Not yet. Contractor meeting and pre-screening, very important. This is where you're going to interview that contractor. The things you want to ask, how many years in the job have we been? Minimum of 3 years. Obviously 5 is better. Does he have the proper tools? I mean, does he have a circular saw and a hammer and that's it? How many workers are on his crew? And how many jobs are they working on? Very important. If the guy's a one-man show, or it's him and his helper, and you've got a complete gut job, you want to hire that guy? It's going to take him 4 months. So make sure he has the proper crew that you can get it done in a timely manner.
Kaboom!
Thank you. You You guys are sleeping out there, come on, help me out. Remember, you got in here free. Is he licensed and permitted? Does he carry liability insurance and provide workman's comp? Does he use I love this one. Does he use subcontractors? Remember, a good contractor will use quality subs. A fly-by-nighter will use fly-by-night subs.
Kaboom!
And
I
my
paid you good money.
You said 7, not 6.
That's a good one too. Has he ever declared bankruptcy? You want a contractor who is financially stable and has business credit. Extremely important. Now, we all know that bad things happen to good people. There's all kinds of, being a realtor for 30 years, and Krulak can tell you the same thing. There are good people with bad credit. They were in an accident and they were laid up for 9 months and the bills got behind. It was pretty much beyond their control. They got divorced and the spouse ran the bills up and ruined his credit, you know, whatever. Although every time I've ever sat down with anybody who was divorced and had bad credit, it was never their fault. It's always the spouse's fault, every time. How about it, Dave? Where'd Dave go? Oh, there he is. Is that true? It's never their fault. Business credit tells us what about somebody?
They're worthy.
They're credible, they're worthy. Thank you. Kaboom! I'll give you that one. You can count on them. They pay their bills. Somebody with bad credit, and I have contractors come in all the time, and sometimes I do hire them for certain jobs. If I really get a good vibe for them, it's not too often. And they always want money up front. Everyone. They always want money up front. And I'm going, no, I don't pay until you show up on the job and start working. And then I'll give you some money for material, but you gotta show up, you gotta at least get your demo done. And guess what? It doesn't cost you anything to do demo. Well, I had guys, you owners screw me before. I'm like, wait a minute. I got a almost 800 credit score. You got a 500 credit score. And you want me to trust you, but you're not gonna trust me. See how that works? Do not give them money up front. And the nice thing about guys with credit, business credit, they don't need your money. They can go into Lowe's, they have an account, and they don't get billed till 30 days later. By then, you've given them a check to pay that off, right? But be very leery when they want a lot of money up front. Does anybody know the percentage that Pennsylvania allows you to give a contractor up front? Because they all want a half. And I'll give you a clue, it's not a half. A third. Third. It's a third. So, if it's somebody you know and you trust them, and you want to give them a third, that's your business. Do not give them any more. First of all, I have guys all the time go, why do you half up front? And they know that's illegal. And they go, yeah, we know. Then why'd you ask? Referrals. A good contractor will give you tons of names who are going to give them referrals, right? And sample projects, before and after photos. Anybody who's flipping houses should always have a portfolio. I do. Before and after house, I get tons of them. So, as you're out there flipping houses, you want to start taking before and after pictures so you can show those private lenders. So you can show the contractors. You've got credibility. Hey, look at some of the projects I've done. They should do the same thing for you. We're all salespeople, even if you're lousy at it, we're all salespeople. We are constantly selling. No matter what, we sell to our kids, we sell to our spouses ideas all the time, right? You need to sell to that contractor that you're a viable source of income, repeat business. You want that contractor, if it's a good contractor, to come back time and time again. The last thing you want is to have to get a new contractor every time, go through this process every time. You want to address the issues that are important to them. And if you want somebody to do something for you, what do you got to do? Create an advantage for them. The advantage for them is, okay, you're not taking notes, you're on your phone now. But we're gonna save you time, because we're professional. We can make quick decisions. We're not Susie and Johnny Homemaker, where it takes them 3 days to decide a single color. And then they're gonna change their mind the next day. It drives your contractors nuts. We're gonna give you repeat work. We're gonna reduce your liability. And get this, we're gonna have a detailed scope of work that's gonna save the contractor time and money. And there's no downtime. No downtime means that your marketing, no matter what it is gonna create a constant, steady flow of properties into your, and it's gonna be like a snowball rolling downhill. One of the ways that we keep getting properties, so that we can keep rolling, is the internet. And the internet's a funny thing. I spent years trying to figure it out. Anybody know what SEO is? And it's not sewage enforcement officer, Dave. Search engine optimization. We spent the last 4 years working really hard on search engine optimization. And I didn't grow up with computers, obviously. I learned a lot in the past 4 years and got a bunch of money. And then, you know, when you're trying to get to the top and the first page organically, you've got to do like everything right. You know, Google owns YouTube, as a lot of you probably know. YouTube loves videos. Google loves YouTube and videos. So you got to blog, you got to, you know, do videos. You know, your Facebook, you like somebody, they like you back. That's at least what I hear anyway. And, you know, you do all that and it's like everything gets mixed up and it's like damn canned fish worms. They're all convoluted in there, all mixed up and everything's pushing to the top so you can get to that first page organically. Now, if you want to be successful, you have to first admit publicly you screwed up. And I got some advice for y'all. Never, ever, ever, and I do mean ever, hit the like button on Playboy's Facebook, Girls of Ukraine. Ask me how I know. I get a call from my assistant one morning about 9:30 in the morning, and she's going, "What did you do?" Did you hit the like button on Playboy's Facebook, Girls of Ukraine? Oh, yeah. Your Facebook page looks like a porn site. This is a girl from Mobile, Alabama. I felt about that big. Apparently, when you like something, I figured they're going to like me back. It's going to help the search engine optimization, right? Well, apparently, when you do that, on the right-hand side, you get all the porn sites. So, yeah, that was very interesting, and very funny. So again, you want to be successful, you first have to admit publicly that you screwed up. Kaboom! Kaboom! Benefits to the contractor. Again, I'm not a retail client. I work with other investors. I use a system with a predetermined scope of work. And I love to pay contractors when the work is done. Now, how many times they hear that? I've had contractors sit in my office and I pull out all these papers and they're like, "Man," I can tell they're impressed. Kaboom! There you go, baby. Evaluating bids. Make sure each contractor is comparing apples to apples. It's the only way you're ever going to get a true comparison on the bids. And don't be afraid to negotiate if you think their bid's too high, but do not get caught up in that trap of every time nickel and dime with that. You will lose them. And I rarely, and I do mean rarely, do I ever pay anybody by the hour. Michelle, later tonight.
Why is that?
I'll get to that. Michelle, later tonight? Yeah. Good. Yeah. No.
Just mentioned Ukraine.
Yeah.
Right?
You're in trouble, dude.
Look, when I was single and a girl told me no, I got it. No means no. I got it, right? But I was told, when you get married, no means maybe.
So you say there's a chance.
I think you're right. I think I am in trouble. Yep. The 6 critical documents that we talked about, and number one, number most important, is the independent contractor agreement. This is the agreement that basically spells everything out. First of all, it defines what an